We are like network doctors. If a network goes down, business operations goes down, and so we are like the backbone of the complete network. So
I feel the network engineers are underpaid when compared to the software developers.
yes, compared to software developers, networking field is paid less, but not always. AI cannot replace network engineers.
Whether you are starting career in a network engineer or if you are a developer who wants to know what happens between the app and the user, then this episode is for you. Are you thinking networking is your next career? Are you a woman who thinks networking or infrastructure engineer as your career? Do you think AI will not replace network engineers? This is what we discussed with Vinitha. She has 5 years of experience. She has worked in both service based and product based. Currently, she is working as a network implementation engineer in Cisco ThousandEyes. So let's welcome our guest in. Hi Vinitha, welcome to the podcast.
Hi Sabha, thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to be with you guys here today.
Before getting into this networking world, so I want to start here. You started your career in Avaya and then moved to Mitel, and now you are in the Cisco ThousandEyes. So this is not a normal one. So we have done deliberately. You have done something. So what was the reason behind for each switches?
Starting up as a fresher, I joined a service-based company. So I worked with the different products like Avaya and Mitel, where I worked with configuring different IP phones and etc. And yes, I switched from a service-based to product-based, and the switch was not easy, but there are few things which helped me stand out. I was able to understand the skill gap which I had and get on hands-on experience and get a deeper understanding of the networking concepts I have known. So yes, the switch was not easy, but with consistency in learning, it made it look good.
May I know which transition that was really hardest, not in the career wise, but personally in the personal learning or skills upgrading.
Right. So when it comes to networking, it's not just about theory, because in real world you need troubleshooting skills. You need more of deeper level of understanding on how the packet level of networking works, and have a hands-on experience on how different things when it comes to routing, switching, and different concepts. So having a hands-on experience is very important here. And one thing that is you know important, or everyone at a basic level struggles, is having a deeper level of understanding of the packet analysis, like using tools like Wireshark. You can analyze the packet level of networking. So that's something difficult, meaning something challenging for everyone starting at as a fresher.
So thanks for sharing this the differences, and you worked in both service and product base. So we will talk about this later. But before that, we want to know what is networking, and so I feel that is more invisible in the tech industry. I feel you can share something more about the networking. So how does I just give you an example in iOS application we used to interact with the application, the user interact with the application, and we get that response from using the data. But how does the networking lies in between them?
So networking is a very vast, technology, I can say. Inside networking, you have a lot of, sub-components or subnets, you can say, whether it is network design or troubleshooting, implementation, or there are even network architects. So there are different roles within networking itself. But yes, where we come into picture, what I can say is when a problem arrives, we are like the doctors for the technology or for the network. We are like network doctors. So we come into picture when there is a break, when something needs to be fixed. So that's when we come into picture. I know a lot of times we are, not given so much of value, but if a network goes down, business operations goes down, and so we are like the backbone of the complete network. So That's where we come into picture.
Now you are in the Cisco ThousandEyes. What is your daily task? Like, how do you start your work, and what are the things, what are the roles and responsibility you are currently have?
So currently I'm working as a network implementation engineer within the professional services team. So my day usually starts with checking the ongoing projects I have with the customers, and also checking customer emails, because the main part of my job is with the ongoing implementation. So my day-to-day job is to help customers implement the solution we have within the ThousandEyes product, help them with the deployment of agents, configuring different tests. Some days I'm, on a continuous call with the customer, guiding them to configure tests, agents, etc. The other days I'm just troubleshooting on maybe why a agent is not reporting to the portal, or why something is not working. So I can say no 2 days are same, because every customer infrastructure is different, and every day is a different story, I can say.
So here, what was your role in the previous, like when you worked with the previous company, Mitel and Avaya, right? I think that would be a service based, and now you are in a product based, right? So how does it work?
Previously, I was into support, handling tickets, where, tickets are related to whenever there's a break in the system. Let's say customer is facing an issue with something, and they reach out to you, and you're working on that case, and your work is over once it's resolved. But currently here, I'm working as an implementation engineer, meaning I come into picture a way before a problem occurs. So I help them with the deployment, help them configuring different setup based on their use cases. So that's how, here I do have a broader exposure to the technology, because we own the product, and we have a complete control over the product, and you have a lot of resources to learn here. So it's not just about tickets, like how it is in service based, but here you get a deeper level of understanding.
What is the weirdest bug you have ever debugged and you troubleshooted and you face some challenges, right? So can you share the experience?
So there are a lot of situations where you don't have complete control over the target, whatever URL you're monitoring. Let's say you're monitoring google.com. So we will be able to get a network path from our agent to the target, but we don't have control over the target. So there are situations where, there are issues at the ISP side or somewhere, but it's not possible to, dig everything at once. So it's weird to sometimes, tell customer that where the issue is, but yeah, it depends on how we handle the situation, but it's not always that you can see the problem. Maybe you can, take some time and dig further into it, and you'll be able to explain further. So yeah, that's some sort of weirdest situations I came across.
So networking is already, I feel some of them are not known or something like invisible kind of tech, but in that women are really rare in the, they choose rarely to the networking. They prefer more over to the software. So how do you handle those in this dominant tech culture? So how do you see in that, or is our misconception?
Right. So what I believe is that networking is open for everyone, and yes, we see less women in the networking path, but I believe this is due to exposure and awareness, and definitely not about capability. Nowadays, we are seeing more women entering here and succeed, but previously it was, very rare field which was, exposed. But now we have a lot of women entering. So definitely it's not about capability, because it's open to anyone who enjoys, problem solving, who enjoys troubleshooting, who enjoys the technology. So yes, it's open to everyone, and it's definitely not about capability, but about awareness.
Right. So I have seen in when I graduated at the time, I was about to choose either software or networking.
I initially did not plan my networking journey, but then I got an opportunity, and after getting my first job, I started exploring the networking concepts, prior to which I just had a basic understanding. I just started digging deeper and I found it very interesting, and I have a lot of passion to be someone who is troubleshooting the problem, or be there at the time when customer needs you the most. So that is what led me till here.
So, do you think that networking culture is actually changing? Can you tell me like how they are getting changed when you have started your career like 5 years ago, right? So, what is the change?
So a lot of things are changing, and as we can see, technology is evolving very fast nowadays. It's not that you have a list of skills, list of protocols that you can study, and that's it. Here we see the technology is evolving every day, and every day something new comes up. And nowadays we can see more of cloud networking, AWS concepts coming up. So learning that will help you stand out. So a lot of things are changing, and networking today is not just about solving some tickets, some bugs, or troubleshooting, but you need to have a good understanding about the scripting side, how the network architecture behaves, how the network can be designed. So having knowledge about everything works nowadays. And also, as we can see, AI is coming into picture. AI is a component of every domain, not just networking. Definitely, you will have to learn along with AI. So, in order to help the customers in a faster way. So, a lot of things are coming like cloud, automation, and AI. So, yes, technology is evolving, and we need to be at a very good pace to catch these up.
Vinitha, I see that you got selected for a leadership program in Switzerland. So, how was it, and is that changed your professional environment or personally? So, can you share your experience?
This is something which gave me an edge apart from my technical skills. What I can see nowadays, recruiters or anyone out there who is hiring, they not only look for your skills or technology, but they also look for, apart from work, what are you giving back to the community. It's very important nowadays to give back to the community. Let's say today I learned something using AI, and I post about it on LinkedIn, and there are a lot of people who want to be a network engineer, who want to be like you and me. So giving back to the community is very important, and a part of that is volunteering. So I got selected for this leadership opportunity with Sinfo, where I guess 10 plus Indians were selected for volunteering for a good cause. And we worked with, we got a fund for this project to run. And this project was about, helping the underprivileged children with right education. We worked along with an NGO here. So this helped me stand out, because this was an international level of volunteering with a group of people, where it's very rare for people to get selected here. So this gave me an edge, and I also heard from my recruiter that you do have these leadership skills and you do have these volunteering parts. So we thought you'd be a good fit. So that made a recruiter reach out to me. So yes, this will help you stand out. What you give back to the community is very important.
If you are a woman who thinks that networking is your future, or deep infrastructure network is your future, so stay tuned, watch this episode completely. And for Vinitha, so now like you have worked on Cisco. Earlier you were working in the service based, and there are some confusions like people think that service based is better, and sometimes see service based are having so much workload, and if you see product based are really you can learn more things, and you can hone your skills. So what is your take on this?
Definitely, coming to product based, you have a broader level of understanding. Whereas in service based, you are handling, tickets or, something where you have knowledge of everything, but not a deeper specialization, I can say. But in product based, you have a lot of resources to learn, and, broader, deeper level of understanding, I can say. But yes, depends on the project you're working with. There are projects within the service based companies where I've heard from my friends that they have enormous amount of learning there. The team you're working with, the project you're working with, so it's different. And also nowadays we have startups. So from what I've heard from different network engineers working in startups, they get to learn a lot of things in a very deeper level compared to both of these companies. So yes, depends on the type of team, type of project you're working with, but yes, learning is deeper here.
And now let's flip to the thing so that people can join the networking field. So, in terms of networking, we always heard about the certifications and other things, right? So, can you share something about the roadmap? So, how to get into this networking field for the freshers or who wants to switch to networking?
I can give a simple roadmap to anyone out there who wants to become a network engineer. So there are different phases for you to learn. Phase one, I believe you should focus on building your fundamentals, your basics very strong. That's the first step you'll have to work on. The second thing is you'll have to get on the hands-on experience on the networking concepts you're learning. So when it comes to fundamentals, you'll have to focus on what is a network and different protocols such as HTTP, HTTPS, DNS, how VPN works, and all of that. So getting a first step right, that is your fundamentals strong, is very important because that's going to be a foundation for your networking career going out further. Second step is to get hands-on experience on the skills you have learned. So you do have different tools here uh, out there which are open for you to learn, such as Cisco Packet Tracer and all of that. Using that, you can build small labs, understand how routing works. And the third step or phase three for you to work on would be to understand the core networking concepts such as routing, switching, also understanding firewalls, ACLs, and all of the other stuffs. So focusing on the core networking concepts is very important when you go deep down in networking because those are the concepts which are not easy for everyone, not easy for beginners. So you'll have to focus on digging deeper on them. And the last phase for you to learn is the industry level skills. For example, the cloud networking, AWS based concepts, load balancing concepts, and other parts which are out there. So this will help you stand out uh, than the other networking engineers who are, just having a good understanding of it. So one thing is get your fundamentals strong, get hands-on experience because having a knowledge will not help you to crack interviews. So getting a complete understanding, hands-on experience, and I would also suggest working along with AI. Take AI as your learning assistant and learn along with AI, which will help you get a deeper understanding.
Thanks for sharing the roadmap. And here I have certain points I have. So, first is certification. Whenever I see a network engineer, they speak about the CCNA. It's very mandatory, but I feel it's a foundation one. Is there any other certification that can stand out as a network engineer?
Right. So CCNA is the one which has been, very popular for anybody who wants to be a network engineer. And CCNA has also been, developed into different versions nowadays, like 2.2, 3.2. A lot of changes have been made to the structure of the exam. So yes, CCNA is the first one which any network engineer would want to, get on, and that's the associate level of exam. So it's not a specialization but an associate level of exam. So there are different certifications out there, but most of which are more equivalent to CCNA and more likely like the same networking concepts you'll be using like CCNA. So at the basic level, it's CCNA, but then if you want to get specialization in different enterprise level, data center level, we have different specializations at CCIE. So that's further down there in specialization. But yes, starting it's CCNA.
Is there any certification that associated with the cloud systems or infrastructure?
Right. So when it comes to cloud, I've seen most of the network engineers getting the AWS Cloud Associate certification. So that's very popular nowadays because that is something which gives you a complete understanding about cloud networking. There are different levels there as well at associate level, at architect level. So yes, AWS based certifications are more popular, and Azure based are also coming into picture, but AWS based are more popular when it comes to cloud. Definitely wish to take one.
When someone join as a want to join as a network engineer, but due to the salary structure or due to the salary differences when compared to the software developers, I feel the network engineers are underpaid when compared to the software developers. So how do you advise them before getting entering networking field?
Yes, compared to software developers, networking field is paid less, but not always. Depends on the type of company you're working with, the type of project you're working with, the people, and a lot of constraints are linked here. So yes, to the people out there, it's not about yes, it is about salary for when thinking from some point of view, but uh, at the start, when you start as a fresher as a network engineer, yes, your salary can be moderate, but deep down there, when you start getting skills, hands-on experience, then you start growing and evolving, so you can expect a very good income once you get the right skills you need, and you will be able to get a good salary once you have the right skills here.
For someone who has been working in the same company for a long time, the salary will be same or a little bit increase. How can you help someone who wants to switch the company? What are the skills he needs to skilled?
So switching is not easy. I know a lot of people plan about it and wish to switch, but it's not easy because let's say we have spent a lot of time in our present company and we are too comfortable here with the tasks we are doing here. So what one thing you can do in order to prepare for that switch is that let's say you see your next role, the company you want to switch, the type of role you want to get into, the type of project you want to get into, the very first thing you'll have to identify is the top five skills which are required for you to learn. And definitely, there is a skill gap, there is a knowledge gap. So you'll have to understand what is the skill gap. You'll have to figure out what your tech stack is, what you currently know, what you currently don't know, and what you should spend more time on learning, and what level of understanding you need to have for all these skills. So, understanding that skill gap and filling up that gap is what takes you to that next role or next company. So, the skill gap should be, analyzed and, structured in a way that you formulate a roadmap, earn all those skills, you gain all those skills which will help you to land there. So this is something very important which someone should focus when he plans to switch.
Since you worked on both service and product based, right? So you are the right person to help someone who wants to move to product based. So what are the things he needs to upskill? Any topics or any specific things he needs to improve?
Right. So, in order to switch to a product based company, what you need is first thing, keep your fundamentals and basics very strong. Secondly, your LinkedIn and your personal branding is very important. Whatever you learn, make sure you give back to the community. Make sure you are, helping someone who just wants to be like you. So, that's the second thing you'll have to do. And the other thing is, apart from technical skills, you'll also need to have good leadership skills or volunteering apart from your day to day job. So those are the three things you will have to, have, and definitely your job search and your LinkedIn profile and all those things definitely come into picture in the other part of the story. But yes, recruiters look at your, not just your technical skills, but your leadership, your volunteering, and other things which you can showcase to them apart from your day to day job.
Now it's a more interesting topic, that is AI. There are so many things that the AI will replace the jobs. In terms of software, I would feel that it is started writing the code and everything. But most of the people have a thought that the AI will not replace the networking field. So how does AI helping you, and what are the ways it is helping?
So yes, AI is a component in every domain, and we can see it is overhyped But yes, AI cannot replace, network engineers. Definitely, AI is very helpful when it comes to, avoiding the repetitive tasks which you've been doing. Maybe you're spending long hours in, summarizing something or documenting something, or, filling up certain fields in your tickets or in your project documentation. So definitely, AI will be very helpful and save your time, and you can utilize the time to learn something new as the technology is evolving. But yes, definitely AI will not be able to replace, because no matter what, AI is a prediction engine which is going to predict the next possible uh, word or content depending on the enormous available data. At any point of time, human intervention will be required, because you cannot rely on it that it is always true. So definitely you will require network engineers out there to dig deep dive and understand whether what AI is doing is whether we are going to the right direction or not. So definitely it will not replace, but yes, you can use AI as your learning assistant.
So in terms of like assisting your networking in networking components, so in what way AI is helpful? Can you explain in the technical terms so that the audience can understand?
So we have AI assistant inbuilt in our tool as well, and of course we have it in every domain. So the AI assistant is going to help you detect the issue even before the engineer joins the call. So it's going to help you detect the issue, and it's also going to help you where you see, what timestamp you see the issue occurring. Let's take an instance of the packet loss happening between two targets. One is the source and one is the target. So let's say there's a packet loss happening at certain timestamp, and it's going to detect that timestamp, and this is the packet loss that occurred at this particular point of time. So it's going to help you detect. But then if you want to understand a deeper level of what happened exactly during that point of time, definitely you need to troubleshoot. So AI can help you understand, show you where the problem is, but then you'll definitely need a network engineer to deep dive in, who can help you to resolve the issue. Of course, there are simple issues sometimes which you can use the AI assistant and uh, get the resolution faster. So that's where we have AI inbuilt. But then there are complex scenarios where you'll need a engineer to join in the session, who can understand what happened and help you with the further steps which can help you resolve the issue. So yes, it's just like as I said, it's going to be an assistant.
In terms of a junior engineer, so if they want to start their career in the networking, what are the skills he needs to know? AI.
In AI, he can start learning these basic concepts of networking, such as the different protocols we have, and the base foundation of any networking concept is the seven-layer OSI model and the TCP/IP stack. So not just having an understanding of which layer, what devices fit in, but having a deeper level of understanding in how it is going to help you in terms of troubleshooting, or maybe ask an AI about scenarios, what a network engineer comes across, how he resolves it. So you can use AI to build that troubleshooting mindset he needs. Because when you look at a problem, if you have a troubleshooting mindset, you will look at the other side of the problem, and you will see or pinpoint where the issue is. So you'll ask the right questions, and you'll go in the right path if you have the troubleshooting mindset. So you can use AI to build that troubleshooting mindset, have a deeper understanding of the concepts, and also you can use AI to build small labs where you can understand routing. You can also understand packet level analysis, or let's say you want to start learning Wireshark or Linux. So these are the tools you'll be using as a network engineer in your day-to-day life. So you can start learning along with AI the packet level of analysis on using Wireshark or simple basic Linux commands. So definitely, within AI, you can learn everything, because you have a lot of open resources out there. So these are the few things which one a junior engineer or somebody who wants to start up with networking can concentrate?
We are at the end of the session. So before wrapping up this episode, I would like to ask you a few questions, especially for the women who women might be interested into network engineer, but due to some reasons they are unable to start it. So for them, can you help them like how to get into this networking?
So, anybody who wants to get into networking, you can start. In today's world, you have AI, and you also have different open resources out there. For example, in Cisco Networking Academy, you have different courses which can help you clear CCNA, and which can also help you build basic networking concepts. So, the resources out there are free, so nothing can stop you from learning. So learning is something which should be very consistent when it comes to the networking field, from my experience. So be very curious, uh, and always know that you have a lot of resources out there open, and your only limit is going to be you. You have a lot to learn. It's just you have to plan on to start and get going on that pace, and once you have these skills and a deeper level of understanding, you'll be able to crack any interviews, or it is going to be very easy for you to get into these roles. So learning is something which is very important, and consistency is the key, I can see here.
What are the biggest mistakes you see when someone get into this networking field?
So there are a lot of times when people get into networking when they do not know, coding. Let's say they just want to start off to be something when they don't have clarity or something like that. Networking is not their passion, troubleshooting is not their passion, and they don't enjoy customer conversations or something like that. So that's when you end up thinking that this is not for me or something like that. So mistakes, what you can make is what you can avoid is have clarity on what is your passion, what is your curiosity, and if you love troubleshooting, if you love talking to customers, being there in the times of trouble, like being their hero during that time, if you love problem solving, if you love helping customers, then definitely networking is for you. But if you don't enjoy the troubleshooting part and the problem solving part, then definitely you should not choose networking, I would say. So these things like not having clarity and not having the right troubleshooting mindset can be a mistake sometimes when you start your networking career.
Dear audience, dear listeners, so if you found this episode is really useful, or it is you are able to learn something about networking and how you see the networking, then subscribe and share with this someone who can learn networking and who can take this as a career. And before that, I would like to ask Vinitha, where can people find you and follow your work?
Right. So you can find me on LinkedIn. I also do run a topic page where individuals, freshers who want to switch their career paths or switch companies or still understanding what career path is good for them. So I do help individuals on the career part with LinkedIn optimization and all other things. So you can find me on LinkedIn, and you can also get connected with me.
Thank you, Vinitha. And your LinkedIn will be found in our description box. And for the audience, you can drop a comment like if you have some doubts that might not clarified earlier. So you can ask Vinitha and she can help you. And you can connect with her on LinkedIn and you can raise your doubts and she can clarify it. She's building a career as one of the most critical and most invisible part of the industry. Like I hope this conversation is useful. If you want to listen more real time, real careers or real advice, subscribe to our channel. This is Sabapati. See you in next episode.